Obsidian Orbital, thanks for having us. This one goes out to all the commanders out there. It's called Victory. I hope y'all like it. 1, 2, 3, let's kick it.
Good afternoon, good morning, everybody. Have a pretty special event today that I'm really excited about, which is why you get to see me on camera and get to make fun of my COVID hair. Here in just a second, I'm going to be joined by Smithy of Yogscast. So I'm going to kind of leave this short. He's doing his intro right now, so I'm just going to kind of hang tight here for a second until he's ready to go, and we'll talk about what we're doing today. You are welcome to join us in the Discord. If you on YouTube, if you type in !Discord, you'll get the chat or the channel. If you do it on Twitch, unfortunately, I still don't have that working, guys, but I promise soon. And no, this is Gatorade, not vodka, because it looks clear because of the green screen. Get us a nice little shot of my favorite ship, the Sidewinder. Oh, looks like they had a little audio issue with their intro, guys. So a couple minutes they said before to get that fixed. So I'll talk a little bit until Smithy comes in and interrupts me. But in short, today we're going to be doing a thing called Sidewinder Slaughter. I've done this I used to do this quite often. We used to do it twice a week. We kind of let it fall off when I took a break from content for a while, and I just haven't spun it back up yet. Wanted to get this going back again for quite a while. The plan is that next week we'll be starting this again on Mondays and Wednesdays. The rules are pretty simple. Everybody starts in a bone stock Sidewinder. You go outside the station. It's an anarchy station, so there's no way to get a fine or get in any kind of trouble. We go outside the anarchy station and do a big PvP deathmatch. With the interesting part being that each time you die, when you respawn, you get to upgrade one module. So it adds this unique strategy element where, what do you do first? Do you do chaff? Do you do shields? Do you do weapons, thrusters? So it adds this really unique component like that. The other thing that's nice is if you're new to PvP combat and you're maybe not as great as everybody else, then you're going to die quickly, but you're also going to get upgraded pretty quickly. So it's nice that it kind of starts to self-balance itself so that, if you die 3 or 4 times in a row really quickly and say somebody else hasn't, well, you're going to have 3 or 4 upgrades that they're not going to have. We generally do it in 30-minute rounds. So the first round will be Sidewinders. The second round we'll do Eagles. The third round we'll do Vipers. And okay, it looks like I see Smithy on his channel is going. So I imagine he's going to be with us here in just a second. So I'm hoping they got their stuff sorted out. You're welcome to come join us in the Level 11 Discord. My regular viewers know I'd love to have you guys chat along because I'm a guest with them today. We're going to keep everybody muted for this one. But you're welcome to come listen in to Discord so we can talk about the rounds as we go. And we'll get more specific into some more of the rules around this here in just a second. If you've never done it, though, it's a ton of fun. It doesn't cost you anything. There's virtually no rebuy. You'll pay a ton. If you spent 1 million credits today.
Put this on. Hello.
Hey,
hiya.
How are you?
Good. We've done our intro now.
Excellent.
And I was just explaining that you're joining me, and that we've got a fun sort of little custom game mode setup idea going.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What do you call Sidewinder Slaughter? You call it, right?
I do. Should I just quickly explain that?
Yeah.
So I was kind of explaining it to my viewers while you were doing that, but let me give everybody the overview. So the idea is everybody starts in a bone stock Sidewinder. So the Sidewinder is the beginner ship and elite. It's actually probably truly my favorite ship to fly. Handles beautifully. It's just a joy to fly when it's fully engineered and built. We're not going to be doing that today. And so everybody starts in a level playing field. We go outside the station and we all get into a big PvP deathmatch. So as many people as show up, we're in an anarchy space. So there's no way to get a fine, no way to get crimes or get sent to detention, nothing like that. But the unique part is each time you die and respawn, you get to upgrade or add one module. module. So it adds this really unique strategy element of what do you want to do first, right? Do you want to do engines or shields or hull or weapons or, whatever you want to do? And
well, I've watched your video and I think
Yeah.
I've got all of the best tips out of it now.
Okay, great, great.
I looked at your pros and cons and I'm now desperately trying to remember them.
Well, I'll give you
I
some tips as we
remember,
go along for
yeah.
sure.
Okay, great. Okay.
Right. And so, so I do 30-minute rounds. Generally, we'll see how it goes today. Usually we do Sidewinders the first round, then we'll switch to Eagles the second round. And then we potentially do Vipers the third round, because the Viper opens up some medium hard points, so you can use some different weapons.
Nice.
Yeah, there are some restrictions. The main restrictions are, so no engineering, none of the unlockable modules like Guardian modules or Power Play modules. And the big, most important one is no Seeker missile racks. Dumbfire missiles are fine, and they're actually really good. But Seeker missiles are just way too overpowered for this. So we do ban Seeker missiles. So please, everyone, no Seeker missiles. And that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds great. So if people wanted to join us, I've already got a few people in the chat here asking what system we're in.
Please.
Yeah. So we are in the Enayex system.
We are, yeah,
Is it
yeah, and I'm showing it on as well, and I can say it to you. It's Enayex, and it's pretty close to the center, right? It's fairly close to most things. It's not out in the middle of nowhere or anything. So and anybody is welcome. We're in open. I do ask that just in the event that we need to, if everybody would go ahead and friend up with me and request for my private group. If we need to go to private group for some reason, we'll do that rather quickly. But I think we'll just be able to stay in open. It's a lot more fun in open. Everybody can find us real easily. Yeah.
Now I want to get rid of my Super Cruise and my
You do. Great. So that's a perfect
Yep.
place to start. Let's talk about a little bit of outfitting. So you're welcome to remove anything at any time. So I'm going to go in and remove your docking computer, your Super Cruise assist, your cargo your cargo rack, get rid of all that. And we found that because truly the first upgrade everyone wants to do is the distributor, we decided to just give everybody the distributor right off the bat. Okay, so go ahead, as soon as we start, and upgrade your distributor to A-rated. So I'm going to do that myself now.
So that's going to be in your core internal
That's going to be in your core. Yep.
slots, right?
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And your distributor is what's responsible for sending energy to your different systems, weapons, shields, and thrusters. And, the stock, it's the weakest distributor in the game, the 1E. It's so brutal to play with that, because we found truly everybody wanted to upgrade that first. It was kind of like, we figured it was kind of like Wheel of Fortune, where everybody gets the RSTLNE now. Just give it to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And so then once you're outfit with that, what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and lift off and just head right outside the station. And here in just a moment, we'll call go.
So are we going with stock hard points at the moment?
Correct,
so
correct.
pulse lasers. Yeah.
That's right. So we'll start just as you bought it, only changing the distributor. And as I said, as we go along, I'm happy to give you tips and help you with some of the different outfitting choices. There's ones that there's ones that I like, but there's potentially ones that would work better for you. We start this first round with, I think these are gimbaled, right? These are gimbaled. And then the second round, when we go to the Eagle, those will start with fixed lasers. And one of the things to point out is fixed weapons generally do about 30% more damage than a gimbaled weapon. So if you can land the shots, fixed weapons are pretty much always the better choice. The big one is we definitely don't want to use turrets, because turrets are very weak, especially at this size. So
is that because of the balancing of their like you say, so a fixed gun does more damage, but I guess because of the balancing, right?
That's right, because it's harder to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you do land those shots, you're getting some damage out of it rather
That's
than
exactly right.
Easy mode turrets.
Exactly, right. And there's a couple weapons, like rail guns, for example, plasma accelerators that are only fixed. And then there's a couple like the Guardian weapons. There's some others that don't offer gimbal. There's some weird ones in there, right? But for us, we're going to be using the standard stuff, pulse lasers. I probably for you would recommend like multi-cannons, but we'll get into that as you get to your rebuy, right? Hopefully everybody will I'm guessing everybody might pick on on me first and might let you have a little bit of a pass at the beginning to get your feet under you. Am I right that this is the first time you've done PvP of any kind?
Yeah, well, yeah, anything like serious, like I've done a little bit of messing around, but absolutely, yeah, this proper PvP. This is it. This is what
That's
I've
great.
done.
That's great. That's great. And it's a great way to get people into it, get you used to shooting to other players and just having some fun with it. And then, then potentially for those that are interested, move into, real PvP, full on PvP, right? So, okay. So the one thing to notice, make sure you've got your cargo hatch closed. I think I see your cargo hatch open.
Oh, I've opened it.
Yep,
Yeah.
Don't do that because that'll slow you down dramatically. That and your landing gear. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. I flicked the wrong switch then. I was putting my landing gear up.
Yeah, no worries. So go ahead and deploy your hard points. All right, great. Yep. And so again, what we'll do, I'll call go here in just a second. I'll kind of watch the clock. We'll do roughly a 30-minute round, something like that, as we're having fun and as folks arrive. For those that are joining, if you do have instancing issues, if you spawn in and you don't see anybody, the quickest thing to try is to exit to main menu and then log back in. Usually that will fix it. If that doesn't fix it, in the live streaming chat channel in the Level 11 Discord, if you want to shout out there to see if somebody that's here will wing up with you, you can try that. I'm obviously going to stay winged with Smithy, and I won't be able to pay too much attention to that, but if you guys need that, that's the best way to get back in. So if there aren't any other questions, shall we have
is
at
Sam,
it?
I think Sam's gone for a second, but
okay,
if
sure.
Sam is back, can you turn the game audio up a bit in my headphones? Thank you. And no, that's it. I'm good to go. In fact, I might quickly turn my brightness up a little bit because this monitor is configured slightly differently to my usual one. Let's turn this up a bit.
No sweat. And I'm going to say that we're going to go at 17:16:30 game time. So that gives us about 40 seconds or so.
17:16:40, did you say?
Yeah, exactly. So we've 30. So we've got about 30 seconds now.
Yeah.
And one trick, by the way, if you know where your night vision is, turning on night vision is a pretty good trick because it is a little dark out here.
Oh, I do. One of these switches does it.
Yeah.
Which one?
15
seconds.
Yeah, no worries. We can do it for the next round. It's also on your right panel on the ship tab. All right.
Oh, yeah. That's an easier way to do it.
5 seconds. I'm going to back up from you a little bit. 2, 1, and go. And yeah, shockingly.
So I don't want to target you, right?
That's okay. Target anybody. Absolutely, you want to target me.
It's all on all.
It's everybody versus everybody. I'm certainly going to be shooting at you. Okay, we had our first death already.
I basically just went into full evasion then.
That's great. Hey, that's great. That's exactly what you want to do. I'm not dead just yet. Oh, here I'm about to go. There I go. All right, first death. I think I beat you to first death, didn't I?
Yeah, I think maybe people were being kind.
That probably won't last long for either of us.
I'm gone. All right, okay.
All right, Carl Cooper got the kill for me. What I would probably recommend for you, and this is what I'm going to do first, is chaff. Everybody is using gimbals. Chaff's a very good defensive module at this point. I tend to like that. Have a little bit of defense before I go for offense. So if you'd rather go offense first, I would probably recommend... I probably would recommend either, depending on what you're comfortable with, a fixed beam laser or a gimbaled multi-cannon, whichever sounds more fun to you.
I like the idea of a gimbaled multi-cannon.
Okay.
That sounds...
Okay. So I would go ahead and add that then. The one thing you'll have to do, realize, is you'll need 2 different fire groups, right? So you'll have to be firing both. But both are gimbaled. That'll work totally great.
Why do I need to put them in? Can I not put them in the same?
You could actually, sure, because they're on the same. Yeah. They're both gimbaled, so actually, yeah, you could do that. I think I'm just thinking I tend to split energy and kinetic weapons, but you're absolutely right. There's no reason to not. All right, so I'm on my way out now. Looks like a lot of people died that round. And also for everybody, we want to stay really close to the station. So again, the only thing you can do wrong is shoot the station. If you were to land a shot on the station, it will kill you. Other than that, there's nothing you can do wrong.
And that's because we're in an anarchy system,
That's right. That's
so
exactly right.
For people who aren't familiar with it, the elite like zones have like law ratings, I guess, right?
That's right.
So
security,
the likelihood of
yeah.
things being imposed. Oh my god, I was on my throttle up whilst I was talking about that.
Yeah. No worries.
It's happening again. We're in a system where anything goes. So that's why we've come here, because typically, if you just started having a PvP fight outside a station in a highly sort of controlled and secure area in the game, you would have space police to deal with.
That's right.
Whilst here, we don't.
That's right.
So don't just do this anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Will be somewhat miffed if you do.
Because just violating the no fire zone would get you a fine, and then if you die with a fine, you're going to spawn in detention, maybe 50, 100 light years away.
Nobody likes detention.
Absolutely not. That would be terrible in this case.
Oh, still got my landing gear. Okay, landing gear's up.
And I can tell we're already clearly split into a couple different instances. Cement, I'm guessing I'm going to actually go ahead and wing you back in, Cement, because he's one of our leadership here, and he's in the UK like you are, and tends to have a hard time staying in the same instance with me and most of the guys. So. Oh, Cement, I see you're in a wing, buddy.
North American.
I'm North America. Yeah. Cement, if you'll go ahead and leave your wing, I'll add you into mine. All right. Oh, there I go. There's my second death.
I'm trying to get the guys that are targeting you. It's tough.
Sure, and Rui got me. If you really just in a way, you can be opportunistic. You see somebody shooting at somebody else and nobody's shooting at them, right? You obviously go for that target. I don't think Rui is in my instance, Cement.
Now, do I want to aim for the little circles or not?
You do.
With gimbaled weapons.
You want to keep your ship basically pointed at it. You don't have to be as right on target because you're going to be, using gimbals. But, okay, there you are, Cement. The closer, the better, right? Especially for when we get into fixed weapons here in a minute.
I think I got somebody. Oh, there's an Imperial Eagle. Scary.
Is it a human? And so do you know the way to tell the difference between a human and an NPC?
In the scanners, information on the left.
Well, the scanner in front of you, if it's a hollow target, it's a human. If it's a solid target, it's an NPC. Right? And then if you see a triangle, that means they have their hard points deployed, their weapons. And if it's a square, they do not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing about this. Yeah, the shape on the HUD dictates that. That's actually a really useful bit of information. Yeah, so what was being said there, chat, is the shape of the contact on this sensor HUD in front of me, which is another great thing about Elite. Elite's sensor system is so clever and I don't know, real sci-fi enough. I really like it. But yeah, the shape of the icon being shown dictates the status or the state of the ship in terms of its color, in terms of its shape. That what you're seeing on that scanner is important. And also it works in 3 dimensions, obviously, which is quite important in space. But yeah, it's great.
Well, as you
I'm
know,
down. I've one more death. I think I got one kill, or at least had a big part in one kill then.
That's great.
So I'm gonna change something else. So is it any module can be upgraded or changed now?
Any module you want,
right?
Any module, but just one module at a time. If it were me, for you next, potentially, if you really like the multi-cannons, I would maybe go with another multi-cannon and go 2.
Okay.
If you want to go more defensive, I would probably go for a chaff at some point soon.
Right, okay. I will perhaps go that next, but I want to line up these dual multi-cannons.
Yeah, there you go.
It makes me think of the Expanse.
Okay, gotcha. Sure.
You know, with their space cannons, like
they do a really good job of it, don't they?
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, it's ace. Like, dealing with rapid decompression is not such of an issue, thankfully. Okay, I'm coming out again.
Great, great, great.
I usually have my my flight sticks like bound to my desk at home with
Sure.
like some of these nice mounts I've got.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
have them here, so it's quite exciting. I'm kind
Oh,
of
it's kind of like
wrestling
flopping
my
around
flight
with
sticks.
you.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. What kind of stick do you use, if I can ask?
This is just the X56,
Oh yeah, okay.
which works great.
Yeah, that's a great
Works
stick.
absolutely fine. Yeah. How about you? Have you gone for something even more pro?
Yeah, I've got the Warthog set up, the Thrustmaster
Right.
one, and
Yeah.
so stick and throttle, and I use a set of pedals. And in fact, today I ordered another left-handed stick, so that I can do dual stick and throttle. And
Right.
so, which I've not ever, I've played with it a little bit before, and
Yeah.
I was on the fence for a long time to go ahead and try it, and I decided last night it was time.
Dual stick for me makes a lot of sense. Personally, I think it sounds really interesting, a really interesting way of flying. I have rudder pedals, but they're so
Okay.
damn cheap that I hate using them.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There are some really nice rudder pedals out there from Monster Tech, I think, are the people that I bought my mounts
Okay.
off of, which are these really awesome German milled steel
Yeah,
mounts
yeah.
and stuff. And they also do like custom flight sticks and also. I mean, you can spend all sorts of money on this sort of stuff, can't you?
Yes, you absolutely can, right? I have a set of VKB Sim. They're a Russian company, pedals.
Right.
And that's, in fact,
Yeah.
the new stick that I just ordered is one of their sticks as well.
Nice. I imagine it's a little bit more
Right.
robust than mine are like full plastic construction. And I
Yeah,
have
these
to,
are
like,
all
wedge
metal.
them in.
Yeah. These are all metal, very high quality, very adjustable. I'm a very, very big fan of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's out?
Okay, so with chaff, it's chaff launchers, right?
That's right. And that'll be under your
Um,
utilities.
So that is one in there. Should I get two? Or
No,
do I need,
well, just
do I need
one.
two?
So only one at a time, right? So you can
Oh,
only
of
do one
course,
right now.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And for this, two actually is very effective in a lot of ways, because then you can really keep the chaff effect going. But for what
do
we're
they
doing,
do they break sensor lock?
they break gimbal
not?
lock. Right, so they scramble
okay,
the
right,
gimbal
right.
lock for, I believe it's 10 seconds, if I'm remembering right. Oh, maybe it's
Okay.
actually 20. But yeah, they scramble the gimbals so that if somebody is using a fixed weapon, it won't matter. Like right now, one of the guys, Rui, is shooting railguns at me, which are fixed, so my chaff would do no good against him. But since most of the guys are starting with gimbals, it works rather well. And I'm using a dumbfire missile, which is pretty difficult to land shots with.
I
because
was
how slow
gonna
it
say,
is.
how that sounds so hard to land.
But
Like,
when you do land shots with it, it is very devastating.
is it like quite a quick missile then? Like,
No,
how the hell
it's
do you
pretty
manage to pull it
slow.
off?
You have to be pretty close, right? You want to be with
Okay.
it, like a weapon like it or plasma accelerators. You really, like right now I'm firing it at 1 kilometer, which is way too far. I really want to be 500 meters, like that. All right, come on, Rui, I'm going to get you. There we go. I got him. I didn't kill him yet, but I hit him at least. You also have to be careful with it because it's pretty easy to hit the station.
Oh, well, yeah. Just do they have much of a splash on them or not?
They do a little bit of splash, and Rui got my power plant as he's sub-targeting, so he took out my power plant module, so I lost all thrusters. So all of a sudden, I'm just a dead duck. Nicely done,
The
Rui.
sub-targeting is cool.
It's great, yeah.
Okay, let's get my hard points out. Time to die, has Mango.
Oh, yeah, okay, so you're literally taking on one of the highest skilled pilots in the game right now.
Well, that feels reasonable.
exactly,
I'm
there you
He's
go.
gone!
You got
I
him!
just killed him.
Awesome, that's fantastic. Oh, I'm going to clip that. Mango, you're never going to live that down, buddy.
It's your coaching,
See,
like that's what I put it down to. That's hilarious. Oh, my shields are offline. Okay, and now I embrace my inevitable death, but it's been a ride.
There you go. Hey. Part of
Maybe I
part
can
of
hide
living is
behind this
dying.
moon.
Yeah, I think that's a little far. And again, make sure you
Okay,
stay
so I put to count. My shields are down.
Yep.
Like obviously, I need to evade. Do I put all my energy into systems to hope that my shields regenerate
Great
faster?
question. That's a great question. So yes and no. So as long as there is energy in your sys distributor, the amount of pips and shields don't matter. Okay, so they regenerate at the same rate so long as there's energy in that capacitor. Once it goes empty, then they would stop regenerating. Okay, but a key thing to understand about pips, I'm assuming you've heard that term before. That's what we call the little dots. A key thing to understand is 4 pips in systems makes your shields 2.6 times stronger than no pips. Okay, so now with this, you don't have to worry too much because it's already so weak. It just doesn't make a huge difference. But if you're in real combat, if you're out in space and somebody attacks you, the first thing you want to do is get 4 pips in systems so that you've got as much defenses as you can get.
Okay.
And it looks like we just got a dead instance. So I literally only see you and I. Oh, no, there we go. People are popping in now. Okay, cool.
Shall I upgrade to some military grade composite?
That's a great one to do next, sure. I went for a better shield. I went for a bi-weave shield, but going for military grade is a great idea. Oh,
okay, right. I'll do this, and then I'll do the shield next time. I need a bit more defensiveness. I also need to use my chaff more. Okay.
And one thing we'll also want to do here in a second, and I just made a really dumb mistake. The reason I couldn't see anybody, because I was being a moron paying attention to you, is I was over power. And so you generally aren't going to have to do your power plant until pretty late. But one of the things we'll want to do is go into your modules and turn off your cargo hatch. Stupidly, the cargo hatch uses a massive amount of energy. So yeah, hit your modules and just turn the cargo hatch off. Another quick thing I would do is turn off your frame shift drive as well. We're not going to be jumping. No reason to worry about it.
Okay, yeah, that's done.
You know, power in and of itself is a very complex thing, but for right now, that's really all we have to worry about. And so one of the things, you know, we were talking about your shields and your pips. One of the biggest piece of advice I give to new combat pilots is the more active you can be with those pips, with changing them, the better. So the difference in like a beginner pilot, most of the time you're just going to kind of set them and leave them there and you're going to change them a little bit, where an advanced pilot is literally going to be changing them every few seconds during combat.
And what kind of things am I looking to focus, like getting a maximum amount of my weapons, then immediately having to switch to something else if I need agility and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just about
having it where you need it, when you need it, basically.
I've got to land this.
And right now, don't worry about me. Just shoot.
Yep. I've deployed some chaff then. Is there a way to force reload my multi-cannons, or do I just have to expend them?
You just wait. And yeah, and when you expend them, they will automatically reload. Yep. There is engineering that would do that, but not with just a standard weapon. And I'm coming to help you. I'm coming to get Mango right now. And so be sure
he couldn't live down another death. He had to respond.
Be sure as soon as you can fire that chaff again, when it's reloaded, that you're firing that. He is still using gimbals.
Okay.
You might have been his only death so far. And then as we can, we want to make sure we stay as close to the station as we can, like in between fights, kind of paying attention.
Right.
Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah, if I just shot off into the distance, is that what's happened?
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. One thing, I'll give you another tip. You can kind of use the station for cover. Like if you get real close to the station, like Mango's doing right now, because if I accidentally shoot the station's going to kill me. By the way, one thing I didn't point out, guys, just to make sure everybody understands, there is no re-entering the station once you have left it. So you can't go back in and land and rearm if you were to live that long. Nothing like that. So once you've left the station, there's no going back in it. All right.
Okay, I'm coming in for Mango again.
Awesome. Yeah, that's who I'm
on. He's chaffed. I can see I lost my lock straight away on the gimbals.
Yeah. You see how they scramble when that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, now you see that the station is killing somebody. So somebody, and we also have a rule that if the
Well, that might be
station,
me.
if the station kills you, you don't get to do an upgrade.
An upgrade.
Yeah,
Right,
your
okay,
penalty is
I'm
you
dead.
just.
Yeah, that was me. That was
Oh,
me.
was
He
it?
managed to.
Oh, damn.
I think he tracked across the
Tricked you.
ship as
Yeah.
I was tracking
Yeah.
him. And yeah,
Now I
I
think
nailed
we'll
him
give
to
you
the-
a pass. I say you get to that you get to do an upgrade anyway, since you're the guest, and Mango tricked you into that.
Thanks. It was a cruel ruse.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
He's pretty weak, so I might be able to get him back for you.
oh man. Yeah, I like this like the system of starting small and like building on as well. This is quite a good way of learning like
Yeah.
what upgrades you do to something to make it better and better and better. Because like before, I've gone, even for a new player, you can make quite a lot of money quite quickly if you know what
can.
you're doing. And
You absolutely can.
I just instantly started buying bigger things with bigger hard points, and I don't think I really appreciated what I was doing. This is a good way of sort of learning a bit more about the basics.
Yep, that is a bit of a
before.
problem that we have now. That again, as you said, money is so easy, which is good and bad, right? I mean, the good is you can enjoy the game. It's not when I started.
do exactly what you want straight away.
When I
Yeah.
started 4 years ago, it took me a month to get to my first vulture. Which now you could literally have in a couple hours easily. And so yeah, making sure you don't skip the game and go straight to, the Anaconda. And there's times to use that. And I think as long as you go back and get an appreciation for the other, the other modules or the other ships. Okay. I think I'm going to do hull now as well. I'll do military grade. And so,
So
yeah,
I'm guessing, did you upgraded your shield generator, right?
I did, and I went for the bi-weave. Do you understand the difference between an A-rated and a bi-weave?
It's about how it handles thermal and kinetic damage differently. Is that right?
A little bit. It's more about the regeneration rate of it. So
Oh,
a
I see,
standard,
I see,
a
yeah.
standard shield is going to have more like overall base energy and be stronger, but it's going to regenerate much more slowly. And so because of that, the idea is in a fight, there's two ways to look at it. In a fight like this, you're going to lose your shields, and then if they regenerate quickly, you can get them back pretty quickly and recover them over and over and over again, where an A-rated shield or the unlockable big shield, the prismatic shield, are much, much more slow to regenerate, so you probably would not get those back between a fight.
So it's about fighting style then,
It
right?
is a little
As in,
bit,
If
yes.
you're able to nip in and out of combat to get that shield back up, then great. But if you're having to do a full frontal assault where you just need to take those hits on your shields, then you probably don't want to buy weave for that.
That's right. So
Like,
bi-weaves are great for things like bounty hunting. Hey, Psychic, where if you're going to be doing a fight and then you finish a fight and then you wait a couple minutes, 30 seconds, and have another fight, and so in between those times you have time for your shield to regenerate. That's when it's great. Where a bi-weave would not be as good would be, say, on a trade ship or an exploration ship, where you're going to get attacked and you need to survive one very short encounter with as much shield as you can get for that very short amount of time. So in that case, you would want a standard A-rated shield instead.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
What do shield cell banks do?
It's a
So
great
you've got
question.
shield generators here, and what do shield cell banks do?
So
next to
shield
them?
cell banks take a massive amount of energy and dump it into your shields all at once, or over a 6-second period. And so the catch there, the thing that's important, is your shields must be up for that to work. So if your shields go
Right.
offline, you have to wait till they've regenerated to they're at least back online. And then once you hit the cell bank, it will then take a massive amount of that energy, dump it back into the shield to recover them. They're very, very popular, specifically in any sort of high tier combat. They are fairly difficult to use. They're the main issue with them.
So
is,
you've got to time it just before you lose your
That's
shields
right.
completely, right?
That's right.
Okay.
And not only that, they generate a lot of heat. So generally, you need to use them with a heat sink. Okay.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you would need both. Now there's ways around that with engineering, but without engineering, you're going to need to prepare for that so that you generally would pop a heat sink. I count to 2, and then pop a cell bank, and then that's generally the best way to do it. But for this,
Okay.
I've used them in the past for these events, but usually, certainly in the Sidewinder, we don't have enough power for them because they're very power hungry.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I was looking then through some of the shield options and stuff, and like I can already see I don't have enough power for certain systems.
Yeah.
But that's the limitation of a smaller ship, right?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Well, and
yeah,
you
the
also
smaller power
play
source.
to the strengths of the different ships, and usually the small class ships, specifically the ones we're going to fly today, the Sidewinder Eagle and Viper, those tend to work better as hull tanks versus shield tanks. And for hull tanks, you're generally doing a bi-weave, and then you're usually not doing cell banks, and instead you're going to do maybe extra hull, which is what I'm about to add to my ship. Is some more hull. It seems like you're doing pretty well. You're certainly not dying quickly.
I'm spending most of it looking at hard points. That's why.
Oh, that's
I'm
that's
not going
fine.
out too
That's
quick.
fine.
But
That's fine.
I'm getting around. I'm doing okay.
Well, the cool thing about this is
pretty good.
you can learn. You can go at your own pace, so to speak. There's no risk. There's no It doesn't cost you anything. You could literally do this your second day playing the game. If you can get to the system, that's the only catch. And now that we have fleet carriers, it's easy enough to just go get somebody, right, and bring them here.
Mm-hmm. And also just kind of form a community around, right? To be like, hey, we can all dock on this. We can all stay here. Uh-oh, I'm taking some hits.
Uh-oh. So then you might put 4 pips in. You might switch your pips to 4-0-2 so that you still have some in weapons, but you're full pips into shields. I'm going to try to come help you. Let's see if I can. I think you've got 2 people on you. I'm going to take one of them. Let's see who your 2 attackers are. We'll do a little ganging up here. I think that's fair enough. Streamers versus everybody.
So many people are using the goddamn station as cover.
Yeah,
there we go. He's in the open. I'm lighting him up.
It's a smart tactic.
Die.
There's a reason for it. Okay, let's switch to your target. There we go. Let's see if I can get a missile on him. Got one of them. Missed the second one.
You hit one of them with a missile.
Yeah. I'm trying to land the other. I'm a little far away. Okay, I'm 1.5 kilometers. It looks like he broke off a little bit. There we go. Yeah, again, they're pretty tough to land, but when you do, boy, do they do damage. And then in the final round, if we get to do Vipers, and I just tagged the station, not paying attention. I slammed into the station. If we get to Vipers, those can use plasma accelerators, which are that much more advanced.
Probably is that a weapon?
That is a weapon, yeah. They come in only medium, large, and huge classes, and they're very, very high skill. They have the projectile moves at a very slow rate, so it's very difficult to land shots with them. And they generate a lot of heat. They take a lot of power, so you have to shoot rather slowly because of that. Rui, is that you shooting at me? I feel a railgun. If you feel something kind of knocking you around, that's usually
a railgun.
That's usually a railgun, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and he got my power plant. Oh, nope. It was not. It was just my beam laser.
I'm on Mango again.
Oh, sweet.
He's making a run for it.
All right, hold on. I'm coming to you. Get him. Nice!
Oh,
nice! You got him again. Fantastic. Mango, you're falling down on the job, buddy.
Poor guy. I presume it's a guy.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Right. Yeah. It's fun. It's kind of nice having the station nearby that you can sneak off behind and regen. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I've been doing a bit of. I'm like fly real close to the station, regen a bit.
Great. And it's funny, if you've noticed, you'll get warnings from the station that, if you hit somebody or something, it's like, I think that we're doing worse than just banging into each other right now. And you're warning me for that. Oh, there we go. My next death.
Oh, what was that? Oh man, I think a missile almost hit someone, then got like detonated, like really close by, maybe a counter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Of some description.
Oh, well,
It looked really cool.
The station, if you're too close to the station, their defenses will shoot down missiles if you're close to it.
Right.
So it could be that.
Okay. Oh, I've just clattered into it.
I just glanced over at your stream and I saw you like grit it down.
God. Why can't I get off of it? Right. Power down. What's going on?
Are you stuck in it? Try to boost and see if you can get free. Oh yeah, I'm watching your screen. It's like it's glitched in some way. We might just have to have somebody kill you. You might literally just be stuck. Try this real quick.
Put me out of my misery.
Deploy your landing gear and retract them.
Yeah.
Sometimes that will unstick you.
Okay, landing gears deployed. No, I seem like I may be stuck in this thing. I'm going to say I'm stuck in this gravity well.
It kind of looks like it. I'm not. So we can do the quick way. Do you know how to self-destruct? You can not give somebody. Don't give somebody the satisfaction. Go ahead and self-destruct yourself.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. I'm seeing that you're maybe at full reverse thruster. Okay, no. It's hard to tell what's going on from looking at your thrusters.
I'm trying to power off of it, but yeah. I will. Is are these guys trying to nudge me off?
No. Yeah, I think they probably are.
That's it. We got it. We did it.
Okay, great. Perfect. There you go. There's a little bit of delay with me obviously watching. Okay.
Hilarious.
Hey, it's a community effort, right?
Yeah, it's a community effort. We saved me, guys. It's like Apollo 13 all over again.
Yeah, totally. So why don't we say for this round, we're going to go roughly 5 more minutes. So we'll go to 1750 game time.
Okay. And then what? We'll change ships.
And then we'll change ships. Yeah, then we'll change to the Eagle.
Oh, nice.
All right, I set us a timer so I won't forget. Again, I want to thank you for having me today. This is a ton of fun. I've been looking forward to this.
Oh no, thank you very much. It's very enjoyable to play. It's a great little idea. I love it. I mainly end up playing mini games on all games I play. I find like when you make your own fun in something it's just quite fun, isn't it?
It is.
Admittedly, most of the time for me, it's things like Dota 2 mini games and things like that.
Okay, so by the way, we do have a human Corvette here, which is clearly not what we're doing. He doesn't have his hard points out. I don't recognize him. So we'll just pay attention and see if we need to do anything. Hopefully he's going to be cool and we won't have to worry about it. We'll just have to pay attention.
I'm stuck in the station again.
How are you?
I'm gonna blow myself up on this one. I think this is impressive.
Yeah, you know what? You are. You're getting. Oh, there you go. It looks like you popped free.
Am I all right?
It looks like it to me. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's come around.
It knows
to
that
the
I was
front.
about to blow myself up.
Yeah, exactly. Let's stay more in the front, so we don't have to worry about that. I see you, Wing Command. Hey, Bob, if you're running defense for us, that'd be awesome. Don't mind having the vet here, obviously. Maniac, if you're having trouble, I can get you. I just happened to see your message. I can get you in a wing.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the night vision on. Good idea.
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm definitely. I've been using that too.
Night vision is on.
Oh, I'm going to hit the station with that missile.
Excellent.
I'm going to hit the station with that missile, I think.
Just slowly watching it sail.
I just hit the station with the missile. It's about to kill me. It's about to kill me. I think it is.
Oh,
anyway.
I'm taking big hits. I've just realized. Oh no, my shields.
Don't forget your chaff. Don't forget your chaff.
Oh yeah. Chaff's fired away. So we're going to hide behind the back of this.
But yeah, we were saying like Elite is that game where you basically have to make your own fun, right? And so one night, literally a couple years ago, about 4 or 5 of us were playing, and I thought, hey, what if we did this with Sidewinders? And we did, and we had a ton of fun. And about, I don't know, 6-8 months ago, I put the idea on my YouTube channel and said, hey guys, why don't we start doing this on a weekly basis? And people really seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good little like mechanic about how, like, you know, if you're losing a lot, you get more modules. So it's the self-balancing of it is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, because you know, again, you don't, you know, if you're new to combat and you're worried, oh boy, I've got everybody shooting at me. Oh, there goes my thrusters. I'm sitting duck now. Oh, there's no way I'm going to get a repair.
When a person is purple on a HUD, what does that mean?
That means, okay, so that's a great question. That means when you're in a wing, and that means I have done some damage to them, but you haven't yet. So it's a way that when you're in a wing fight, you can know who your wingmate. There's another way where you can actually, with a hotkey, you can target your wingmate's target, but it's also a way just to visually know, okay, my wingmate has shot at them, and I haven't yet.
Nice. That's good. That's good to know. Yeah, because I thought it meant that they were part of our wing, and I was like, well, I can see you. Maybe it's part of a sub menu or something like that. But no, that's. But yeah,
and we got 30 seconds. By the way,
key bindings make your life a lot easier, right?
They do. They do. They do.
Learning key bindings.
And so if
there are many.
Oh my gosh! Like I think once I was working on a video about keybinds. There are over 500 individual keybinds.
That's a lot. That's a lot of keybinds.
It's pretty nuts. Okay, so we're gonna call the round here in 5 seconds. Here we go. Round over. Hold fire. Okay, and then here's how we score this. And it's kind of goofy because, you know, it's really just for fun. But the way we score it is when you'll land here in a second. So here's what you can do, Smithy. Since you just took off and now we need to land I'll show you do you know how to fast travel back to the pad?
No.
It's pretty easy. Deploy your hard points and fire at the station. And that'll fast travel you right back to the pad.
Oh, you mean it's just going to blow me up?
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Right. I was like, what is this feature you're talking about?
Just a joke.
Okay.
Right? And so what we'll do, the thinking is whoever did the least amount of upgrades, you know, died the least, arguably, and would quote unquote win. So what you'll do is once you respawn, look on your right panel and see what your rebuy is. And then whomever has the lowest rebuy wins. And so, guys, everybody listening, if you'll put your rebuys in the live streaming channel in the Discord, we'll just kind of see who won.
I hit 8,865.
Ooh, that's pretty damn low. Okay. All right. You didn't upgrade much. You beat me. I did 20,000, 11, 12.
I think I may have been moving at a slightly slower pace than you in terms of upgrades, but
and that's why you can't really, that's why you can't really say who won and who didn't. It's just all in kind of good fun. Okay. Mango had an 88.67, but he does have the beta discount, so his rebuy is lower anyway. And what was yours again?
8,800, I believe.
Oh, you beat Mango. You beat Mango. That's awesome. Mango, he just crushed you, man. I don't know what to say.
Man, I know. It's just being this good is hard, I guess. Like
excellent. Excellent. Boy, you fit in with this group perfectly with that attitude.
Yeah. They certainly make it look hard.
Sure. So for the next round, we're going to switch to the Eagle. This gives us much more maneuverability, a little bit stronger hull, and 3 hard points this time. Now we'll start with just 2, but we'll have a third we can add, and we're going to start with fixed weapons. And by the way, everybody must stay with the fixed weapons. You can, just like before, go ahead and remove the modules you don't want, and more importantly, you can add the A-rated distributor.
So starting with a distributor and start with the 2. So it only starts with 2 installed fixed hard points, right?
That's correct. So now one thing you can do if you're kind of anal retentive like I am, it'll start with 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. I generally, because it just annoys me, I take the one from the top and move it to the bottom. but that's just me, because I like the way the hard points line up better that way, but you do not have to do that. And if you've not done that before, I can show you how to do that, because you'll select the weapon and choose swap instead of and then it'll give you the free slot to swap it to. So pick the one that's on top and then swap it down to the bottom. Yeah, exactly.
This is one of my favorite looking ships in the game, I think.
I completely agree. Yes.
I really like it.
I agree. The Imperial Eagle, the one that has kind of the nacelles on the wings, I actually think that's the best looking ship in the game, in my opinion. In fact, I'd be curious of my chat, I don't know if your chat wants to chime in, what everybody's favorite ship is in terms of look, just visually. Okay, I'm going to launch out. By the way, if you move those hard points, make sure you rebind them to a fire group, because it will unbind from a fire group.
So we're getting 2A on the power distributor, I'm guessing, right?
That's exactly right. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we've got some fun. Okay, Cement's in the station. Wing Commander Bob. I think Bob's being cool, Cement. He messaged me, and so I think he's being cool, so I don't think we have anything to worry about. And I appreciate that, by the way, Bob. I think he might, he's in Discord with us. We actually, just a very brief story, on my stream Tuesday night, we had a cheater join us. Somebody that was using the quote-unquote trainer, the cheat tool, had unlimited shields. And not only did we catch him, he then came into voice and admitted it, kind of half apologizing. I take that very seriously in the game, because for a while there, about a year ago, cheating really, really hurt the game quite a lot. And it seems that he's already been banned. So.
Right. Well, there we go. So the circle of life.
Yeah, right. And this wasn't something you do accidental. The guy was triple elite. He was a veteran player. So, why would you do that? Why would they get their account banned? It's a great question. And it was even more surprising that he would literally come into voice and admit it, so that when I reported to Frontier, here's him, because, a lot of times it might be hard to prove, and, Frontier takes a very cautious approach. They give the player the benefit of the doubt, which I think is fair. Mm-hmm. But in this case, literally the guy came in and said, yep, that was me, my bad. I was using the trainer. And we were just like, okay. So, fortunately, it is very rare that we see that. Mm-hmm. So, okay, everybody. So why don't we do this? Everybody get ready to go. Why don't we start at 17:58? So here in just under 2 minutes. Actually, why don't we start at 17:57? You're ready to go. Let's start at 17:57. Yeah, we don't need to wait that long.
So a couple of people say they like the Cobra, the Clipper, the Crate Mark II, which I remember really liking as well. The Imperial Cutter as well, which I feel looks a little bit like the Eagle and
very similar. Right? Yeah, they're all the Imperial ships, so they're all from the same manufacturer, so they do look very similar.
They look more like planes, I guess. They're like fighter jets.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed. Yeah, I've got Chieftain, and I do think the Alliance ships look very good as well. Trying to think. I think that's...
I think this might be an unpopular opinion, but I really like the Type 9 as well. Like,
you know what? I actually think it's great too. And by the way,
go. It's cool. It's gigantic. It's like a big dude with huge shoulders,
like, and by the way, we're going. Everybody open fire. Go.
Okay, go. Right, okay.
Go. I actually really enjoy the Type 9 for trade missions. It is one of my favorite ships. I play in VR quite a lot, and the view in it in VR, it's like sitting in an apartment building. It's so massive.
Oh, yeah. The cockpit area and stuff.
Oh, it's huge.
like 20 foot high. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I love that.
Have you ever gotten to play the game in VR?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It really is special, isn't it?
It's my favorite VR game.
It's
like in terms of, it's just awesome. It works perfectly. I guess the only reason I don't do it is just like prolonged comfort a lot of the time.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, goddamn, this game is so good in VR.
Yeah. the way I generally describe it. By the way, are we PG-13 on you guys' channel? Should I be a little?
No, you can say what
Okay,
you
okay.
like.
So the simple way I say
Yep.
it is, in 2D, Elite is a very pretty, fun space video game. In VR, you're flying a fucking spaceship. Like, you're not
Yeah,
playing a
it's so
game,
cool.
you're sitting in a fucking spaceship. Like, it's that big a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, and like when you see like the planetary bodies as well, like when you look up and
the
you see like
scale.
a sun,
Yeah.
like exactly. The scale
Yeah.
is so good in VR. Like, I'm looking forward to the day where I can take it on and off like my glasses, you know, like a light
Agreed.
pair of glasses.
Agreed.
Because that's the only thing holding it back, really, is just
The bulk and the
I can play this game
weight. Yeah.
for a lot longer without VR on than I can with, you know.
Agreed.
basically.
Agreed. You know, like once I started my YouTube channel a couple years ago, I used to, up before that, I played 70, 80% in VR. I play quite a bit less now because if I'm filming things or if I'm streaming, you know, I don't want to stream in VR because it's just so hard for people to watch. But when I do get to play in VR, it kind of is a real treat now. Right. And if you've
Sure.
died already, man, your choice.
just died.
So chaff is not going to be as good a choice this time because nobody's running gimbals, at least not yet. If you want to do weapons, you could go with another weapon. You could go with a gimbaled multi-cannon if you wanted to. If you wanted to try something a little higher skill, you could try a dumbfire missile rack.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I
Let's
think
go.
I would say now the biggest advice there is try to make sure you're under 1 kilometer before you fire it, right? Be nice and
Okay.
close, and that's going to be I think that's going to be do you the best.
Oh man, awesome. Okay, that looks really cool. I need to set my hard points. Okay, sorry, set my fire group.
Yeah, be sure to bind that one. Yep. Also, again, be sure to turn off. Well, it's probably easier because sometimes it'll turn back on. Set your cargo hatch and your frame shift drive to power 4.
Okay. Does that just put it on a different? Oh,
Well,
that's
so the
lowest
power
priority
priorities,
ever,
yeah,
right?
the lower priorities will turn off if necessary, and the higher ones will stay on. Right, power gets pretty complicated, and so for today we won't get into that. The simple thing is, as long as you have it on a lower one, since you don't need those modules, they'll just power off when needed.
Okay.
You know, one of the
Nice.
embarrassing things you can do is if you forget to set your power priorities, you deploy your hard points, and if you're overpower, your shields drop immediately. So it's like you pull out your guns and drop your pants, right?
Yeah, I've had that happen before. So why exactly is that happening?
Yeah, so again, let's say with everything, with your hard points deployed and all of your power is 101% of what your generator can generate. Well, if you try to use 101%, things are going to power off because you can't support everything. And if your shields power off, they go to 0, and now you have to wait for them to charge back up.
Right. Okay.
Right.
And so that's why we look at the retracted and deployed
That's
segment of the
exactly
power consumption at
correct.
the bottom,
That's
yeah?
exactly correct. Because when something's
Right.
not deployed, it's not for weapons. It's not using power, right? So
Right,
you can run ships with. I mean, you can run at 110% sometimes. If it's an exploration ship where you're literally turning things on and off, you can run at very high. Like you could run at 150% power because, for example,
Right.
you don't need your SRV when you're flying around.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes a lot more sense to me now. Like,
Yeah.
because I've done the main thing I've done in this game is exploration, a bit of mining, and quite a lot of trading.
Okay.
That was kind of, and that's why the Type 9, like you were saying, I was using
Yeah.
the Type 9 for trading and
Yeah.
things like that. And so for me, like, you know, fuel scooping, detail scanner, surface scanners, all those sort of things are what I was using a lot of. And
Yeah.
I would have power issues. So yeah, I didn't really think, turn the modules off or like, you know, prioritize power different things. It's a good point.
You can just manually turn them on and off, but prioritization is the best way to do it because then you just let the ship do it for you whenever it's necessary.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Let it do the work.
Exactly, right? And not to not to really plug myself here or anything, but I do have tutorials on my channel that cover all of these topics. That's really the type of stuff I focus on my channel, is how to play the game. The goal with my videos is always to be as brief and concise as to the point, so that my philosophy has always been, you don't want to watch me talk about Elite, you want to play Elite. So I try to be as clear and concise as I can be, and I've got one that covers exactly this topic.
Well, that sounds very good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, plug away, honestly. You've gone to the effort to making them all.
Oh, well.
Like I say, I watched your the one you linked about.
Yeah, the Slaughter video. Yeah.
The Sidewinder Slaughter, and it was very useful. Definitely.
Have you unlocked the Guardian frameshift drive booster yet?
I doubt it.
Okay, that's one for the future that I would recommend. That's usually the first thing that I would recommend to someone that's got the playtime you have, because that will add up to 10 light years of jump range to any ship that you put it on, without engineering.
And is that, do you have to do a couple of quests to get
there's one quest kind of that you do, right? You go I know you and Malik went out to a Thargoid site. For this, you go to a Guardian site and do a puzzle there. And again, my most viewed video is how to unlock that. For most people, it takes about 90 minutes. And it's the kind of thing where if you were ever just playing offline kind of thing, and certainly if you ever wanted to help or had a question, you're obviously always welcome to ask me. It's a good thing. It can be something that's good to take a friend to help you do. You can certainly do it solo, but you also can have a friend join you to help you, because you will be attacked by these little things called sentinels while you're in your SRV, and having a friend be in a ship floating above you to kill the sentinels for you or help you can be really, really helpful.
Nice. Yeah. When Malik was showing me, he also showed me, is it a pulsar or a binary star where you can supercharge your jump?
Neutron star. Yeah.
A neutron star. That's it. Yeah.
White dwarfs can do it too, but really it's neutrons.
Yeah, and the way that just if you get it just right, it just charges your jump drive to give you
4 times.
Crazy distance, and it's just cool. I'm really
in fact, so I'm assuming you're familiar now with Sagittarius A star, the black hole in the center of the galaxy. That's 26,000 light years away, and then there's a system called Colonia. Have you heard of Colonia yet?
Yeah. Is it meant to be Earth?
Colonia is kind of like our second colonized part of space. The short version of the lore is this station was going to jump out to Beagle Point, which is literally the furthest you can go, and it malfunctioned, and so it accidentally jumped to what's now called Colonia, and when the Thargoids attacked, a group of humans retreated out to Colonia. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Well, it's about 21,000 light years away, and recently I hosted a speed run competition, and the record to get there by using neutrons, so going 21,000 light years, was 1 hour and 15 minutes.
21,000 light years.
21,000 light years and 1 hour and 15 minutes.
So the average jump range of a ship, let's say, is 10 to 20 light years?
It's hard to say. I mean, stock unengineered. Yeah, that's probably a fair way to say it. Probably more like 15 to 25 if you factor in all the ships.
So let's say 20. So let's say it takes 30 seconds to do a jump. So
roughly,
maybe less, maybe more.
Roughly. Now remember, these ships,
and you did 21,000 light years in distance,
right? And so, but you got to remember, so these ships are going to be highly engineered. So when I did this, my personal record is 1 hour and 50 minutes, and I used an Anaconda that has an 84 light year jump range.
It's pretty far.
It's the max. In fact, the maximum in the game is 84.17, and that's what I use.
Right.
Then when you do neutron boosts, which quadruple that, right? So you're literally doing as much as 360 light years per jump.
Okay.
Right, and that's how you do it. There are tools. Yeah, there are tools out there that will plot those. It's called a neutron router that will plot that for you and tell you here's all of the neutrons that between these 2 points, and there you go.
That's I mean,
Right.
there's a lot to do, isn't there? There's a
There
lot
is.
of depth.
There is. There is.
I've just made the decision to change one of my lasers for another rack of dumbfire missiles to see
Okay.
if I can get
Okay.
lucky.
That's great. That's
Just
great.
saturate the area with rockets.
If you're
missiles,
using them,
Rob.
and two especially, if you could land two at a time, that's about the highest damage that you can get for what we're doing right now.
Let's do this.
All right, psych it. Oh, she got me. I think she got me. Psych it's another Twitch streamer in our little group with Frontier. Yep, and
Nice.
Psych it got the kill. Nice Psych it. Okay. And so, yeah, that's why the FSD booster is such a great module, because you take something like, you just said your average is going to be when you're unengineered, you can get a Diamondback Explorer to say 35 light years pretty easily without engineering. Well, all of a sudden it's 45 light years, which is
Right. From getting this
obviously-
Guardian drive.
Exactly, right? Another thing that I genuinely recommend to new players, and remind me next time you die and you're landed, and I'll show you where to do this, is to pledge to one of the power play powers. So the big superpowers that maybe you've seen a little bit of the names, like there's Leon Rhee and Ashley Duvall and Zachary Hudson and people like this. And they give you these special upgraded modules that you can only get from them. It takes a month to unlock each one of them. At the end of that month, it's very easy. You do one cargo mission where you carry 750 tons of cargo one time, and that unlocks them. And this is something like I can give you some details on later. But because it takes a month to unlock them, I say this all the time on my streams. If you're not pledged, you're just wasting time.
Okay.
So when
what-
you die,
choose any of them in particular
no,
you want to choose?
yeah, there's
or-
there's a couple specific ones. Because you're more about trade and exploration. How many credits do you have roughly?
500 million.
Okay, great. You're perfect then. I would generally recommend the prismatic shields. Those are much stronger. They're the strongest shields that are available in the game. And because of that, you can, on something like an exploration or a trade ship, you can run a smaller shield, but by running a prismatic, you actually get more strength out of it, even though it's smaller.
Okay.
Right? So in short, like a class...
Why is that?
Well, let's say you're exploring and you might slam into a planet. Let's say you're trading and you get attacked by a pirate. Okay? And so you want defenses. I always suggest running shields. In my opinion, you really don't ever want to not be running shields. And so then that way, let's say on a Type 9, for example, you run you could run a Class 8 shield. That's the biggest module. But that would be kind of silly because that takes up so much cargo space, right? So instead, you run a Class 5 shield, which is the smallest you can run on that. Well, a prismatic is the same specifications as the next largest slot. So a Class 5 prismatic is the same specs as a Class 6 regular shield. Right? So you get the benefits of a bigger Class 6. It's that much better, right? So it's again, there's no reason to not use it because it's the same size. It does weigh a little more, but generally that's not a big concern. And you get that much more shields out of it. For example, the Type 9 build that I run, and a lot of my exploration builds are, I'm not going to call it unkillable, but it's all but unkillable. It would take
a
wing.
It's all about the defense and stuff.
Exactly. It's all about being defensive, so that if you're, and I'm a big fan, like we're doing now, of playing in open, and that way if you get attacked when you're playing in open, you can generally, if you know what you're doing, you can survive those attacks.
Okay.
And proper defenses, proper outfitting is a big part of that.
Yeah, yeah. I did look a little bit into defensive outfitting when I was doing like I say, the big running, like I was doing passenger runs and all sorts of stuff like that as well. And it did pay. I often had like a little turret or something on board just to irritate little AI,
Sure.
Like sometimes we'd go through places and you have some really weak AI.
Sure.
And you kind of still want like a little something to just deal with them, because if you don't have anything at all, eventually they're going to get through your shields, right?
And then,
do you run weapons? Or?
It depends. So usually on a trading ship, I honestly don't bother, because usually even like you're just not going to be able to do enough damage, and you're risking, if you've got a lot of cargo on board, especially if you're mining and you've got all that cargo, you're risking losing it. And I think that's too big of a risk to try to fight back, where you're almost certainly not going to win the fight anyway. So my philosophy
you're about
is
running then.
exactly. You want to have proper defenses so that they attack you, you can survive, you can then highway to another system, and you can escape rather than trying to fight back. Now, in some of my
That's a good point.
taxis, like if it's what I call a taxi ship where I'm just flying from system to system kind of thing, I run weapons and strong shields on those, so that if somebody has a go at me, I'm not carrying cargo. If I die, it's no big deal. And sure, I'll fight back, because why not?
Yeah,
Right?
and you give yourself a sort of fighting chance by
Exactly.
having some stuff on it.
Exactly. It's just fun. Or if you're using a mining ship and you're using something big, like even if you were going to use a Corvette or a cutter or an Anaconda, why wouldn't you put weapons on it? Because that way you don't need all those hard points for mining. And so that way, if an NPC or even a human were to attack you, you don't have to just run away. You can fight back. So it's kind of all about the situation, what the ship is for, those sorts of things. But I think that certainly if you're ever attacked by a player, all you want to care about is escaping. You don't want to try to fight back, because being blunt, you're going to lose. Especially if you're
I've been there before.
Yeah, right. Especially if you're
I've been like, okay, right, let's do this. I can do this. And just instantly just blown out of the sky. I'm like, what even just happened?
That's right. The difference, it's kind of so unbalanced, the difference in a combat engineered PvP ship and anything that's not that, you just absolutely don't stand a chance. I literally, with my engineered Sidewinder, have defeated cutters and Corvettes with it. Anacondas, Pythons, because if they're not set up for combat and they can't even deal with, a Sidewinder because of how maneuverable it is, how hard it's to hit, and the weapons I might have on it, then yeah, they, they're kind of no match for it, so to speak.
Is that why you want to pack like a fighter or something then in those situations?
That
or do you
could
think
be-
fighters are still not sufficient?
Yes, and I think that the problem with any of that kind of thing is if you take the time to deploy your fighter and try to get it engaged in that amount of time, you are probably going to die. Right?
Yeah.
If you're in a standard unengineered ship and an engineered ship attacks you, you maybe are going to survive for 20 or 30 seconds. And so, again, if you're carrying valuable cargo, it makes a lot more sense to just do your best to escape that encounter than it is to try in vain to fight back.
I got you.
Yeah, this
Sorry,
is another.
No,
you're
you're
good.
trying to land
You're
these
good.
dumb fire
You're good.
missiles.
You're
I got a kill off of one of them
Awesome.
a second ago, which was quite satisfying.
Awesome.
But it is quite fun using the dumb fire missiles.
They
isn't
really
it?
are, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to be nice and close with them as you're kind of seeing.
Yeah.
Lead your reticle. There we go. Just got myself a kill. All right. I'm going to engage your target. Oh, he's engaging me already. Ramming can be a somewhat effective tactic. I've got pretty strong hull right now.
What's the difference between a torpedo and a missile in this game?
Great question. So torpedoes are incredibly powerful, but they have some very significant negatives. First of all, they have a 1 kilometer arming distance, so you have to fire them 1 kilometer away. And they only fly at 250 meters per second. So they're extremely slow. Where a normal missile, I believe, somebody might correct me if I'm wrong, is 650 meters a second. Now, they can be very devastating because they when they're engineered, because they have very special effects for them. One of them is what's called reverb cascade, and that effect will destroy the shield generator, the module itself. Okay, so imagine each of your modules has integrity. All right, once a module's integrity reaches 0, that module stops functioning. Oh, I think you just got killed. I'm gonna try to get revenge for you. And so, by the way, once you respawn, let me kill this guy, and I'm gonna show you how to pledge to power play.
Okay.
In fact, I'm just gonna stop for a second so I can give you a hand with this once you respawn. And I died anyway, so perfect timing. So once you're in your cockpit, look at your right panel, and you'll see something that says Galactic Powers.
Over here, yep.
Yep. Click on Galactic Powers. And we talked about before, we want the prismatic shields. Those are from Aisling Duval, which is being blunt, the hot blue-headed chick.
Yeah.
So pick her. Yep. And then at the very bottom, you'll see pledge allegiance.
What am I looking at here? So
Yeah, so
their ethos,
you're
like the
looking
kind
at
of
a
way they behave
very-
on the map, right?
Yeah, well, kind of. You're looking at there's a lot of really complex stuff in here. Power play is actually one of the deepest and most complex parts of the game. It's one of the parts of the game that I don't really know everything about. So what you're looking on this first screen is just kind of about her, the benefits of being pledged to her, and the different things that you can earn. On the pledge screen, if you go back to that, you'll see that at rank 3, it unlocks prismatic shields. Okay? And the way that works is you have to have been pledged for 4 weeks, and you have to have earned 750 merits. And then once those 2 criteria happen, and after the stream, I'll send you a couple things about this, right? Because you don't have to worry about anything for 4 weeks. Once that happens, for 1 week, that module is unlocked. You want to buy as many as you're kind of ever going to need. Again, I can give you some tips later. You throw them in storage, and then you move on to the next power that you want to get a module from, right? And that's what we call module shopping. Now, you could get into the role-playing aspect and pick a power that you stay with forever, and you live in their home space, and you expand them, and that's like the political aspect of the game that gets really complicated.
Okay, so how do I get merits?
So there's 2 ways. The easy way is to deliver cargo. I think I outfit. I was talking to you, and I don't know if I outfit, so I'm just not going to worry about it. Soon I did. There's 2 ways you can carry cargo. Essentially, you go to her home station, you pick up cargo, and then you take it to a very specific other station. Again, those rules are kind of complex to explain here today. Or you can go do combat, where you go attack her enemies, and each enemy that you kill, you get 30 merits. And so combat's a lot more fun, but it takes a lot longer. With cargo hauling, you can do 1 trip in a Type 9 because you can carry 750 tons at once. You can get that done in about an hour. With combat, it's probably in a non-engineered ship. It might be as much as 3 or 4 hours, so it's because you've got to kill, 250 targets, or no, that's not right, 25 targets. Anyway, you've got to kill enough to get 750 merits. I'm not doing math hard right now. And so once you do that, again, it's unlocked for that 1 week. And then for most of us like me, they're module shoppers. We then move on to the next module. And there's everything. There's a bunch of weapons as most of them. Another one that might be a good fit for you is a mining laser called the Mining Lance. And what's great about it is standard mining lasers only have 500 meters of range, where the mining lance has 2 kilometers.
Oh, wow.
Right?
So you can just stand back and
exactly,
blast and then...
exactly, right?
Or you can... if I'm doing deep core mining, then I guess it's not quite as relevant.
Correct. It would not be.
Depends.
Right? Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But then there's other weapons. My favorites are, like, if you didn't have enough credits, or, because the prismatic shields are very expensive. If you didn't have very many credits, I would probably suggest Packhound missiles. That's a missile rack that fires a little barrage of 4 mini missiles that all take a drunk trajectory to the target. So they take this crazy scrambled trajectory.
That sounds fun.
And they're a blast, right? They're very overpowered. So the PvP community bans them in tournaments and consensual PvP because they're unstoppable. There's no way to defend against them. And then there's a shotgun called the pacifier frag cannon. There's a railgun that fires a triple shot when you pull the trigger, so it's bam, bam, bam instead of 1 shot.
Oh, that's
a lot
cool.
of fun. So there's a lot of really cool modules. It's just, again, since it takes a month to unlock them, and anybody that's listening, if you're playing Elite Dangerous and you're not pledged to a power, you're doing it wrong. The one thing to point out to you, just to make sure you understand. Now you're going to see, and we're in a system that's fine, but in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to start seeing hostile. Okay? And you're going to wonder, oh crap, what did Exigeous just do to me? What does this mean? Well, you know what I also just realized? We allowed 2 upgrades. We'll finish this round with just 1 upgrade, and we'll do Vipers. We're supposed to allow 2 upgrades in the second round, and I totally forgot because we're talking so much.
Oh, I've been doing I've done like 4 or 5 now.
But no, we're allowed 2 upgrades each time you die. Not just
see.
one,
Right,
right?
okay.
And I totally forgot. So we'll just stay with
Yeah.
one, everybody, because I forgot to say that. And so anyway, shit, where was I? What were we talking? Merits. Oh, shit.
Shooting, seeing hostile in the
Oh,
bottom
hostile.
left.
That's right. That's right. So hostile means like you're now pledged to Ashling Duval. If you're in, say, I'm making another one called Leon Ree. If you're in Leon Ree space, you will be hostile to that power. The ramifications of that are essentially nothing. You might get interdicted a little more often, but an NPC will not attack you unprovoked. So there's nothing for you to really worry about. When you see that hostile, don't worry. Don't freak out about it. I do have a video that explains this in a little more depth, but don't worry about it for right now is the short version.
Okay, yeah, it does sound pretty serious, doesn't it? It sounds like
Well,
they
it
just
does. It
kill on
does.
sight.
It does. It sounds like, oh my God, I'm hostile. What are they going to do to me kind of thing. But it's not something to be worried about. Why don't we cut this one at 1825? So in just over a minute, we'll finish this round and we'll go to the Viper. And we'll go to 2 upgrades for that round.
Okay, cool.
And by the way, chat, forgive me. I usually try to really engage with my chat during streams. And it's very rare that I just play and don't actually pay attention to the chat and let them ask questions. Forgive me, guys. I think everybody obviously gets, what we're doing is a little different today. So
Yeah, for sure. No, we're the same. It's like reading out donations and things like that as well tends to
yes,
we
and
tend to take
I've
breaks and things like
seen
that.
I've seen a couple super chats come through on mine, but I just couldn't. Right now I just can't address them, guys. I appreciate them, the ones that I've seen. Thanks, guys. It's just right now it's a little hard to do. So right now I just got my power plant taken out. Oh, you crashed. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm restarting now.
All right. Well, we'll get you back in. I'm dead in the water. They took out my thrusters. Let me see. Yeah, so my thrusters, earlier we were talking about shields. Yeah, I want to explain that real quick about going to 0%. So when a module goes to 0%, it stops working because you were asking about torpedoes. So there's an effect for the torpedo called a reverb cascade. And whenever you hit a ship with that, it does roughly, just simple terms here, 20% damage to the actual shield generator. So if I land 5 of those, your generator goes to 0%, and even if your shields are at 99% strength, instantly they go to 0.
So how is it penetrating the shields to do that damage?
So it's essentially when it hits the shield, it transfers the energy through the shield into the generator. That's the lore explanation, right?
And which weapon is this you're talking about?
That's there's a couple weapons that do this. The mine launcher can do it, and the torpedo launcher can do it. But
I see.
It has to be engineered for it, and it is very difficult to use. And if the person you're shooting at knows what they're doing, you're not going to land the shot, right? And it doesn't work at all against NPCs. So it's a very, very advanced module. And so unfortunately, the answer is torpedoes suck. Don't even bother.
Right, I see.
Yeah, that's the short version. Mine launchers are
now,
kind of in the same
would
boat.
they work on say you're assaulting a carrier because they're large, slow objects? That's kind of what you want, right?
Yeah, thinking yes. So carriers, carriers are just like a station. And by the way, everybody, let's go ahead and switch into the Viper 3. That's going to be our next ship. So go ahead and just like before, you're welcome to upgrade the distributor. Right, just like we did. And just the last thing, it's going to put the 2 small pulse lasers on the medium slots. I go ahead and move them to the small slots. Right. So if everybody can start doing
we're
that.
getting now, right?
The Viper Mark III, right? Yep, that's right. Viper Mark III, everyone. Let me put that in chat. Okay, so back to what I was saying, right? So carriers act just like stations, so there's no way to do combat with them. If you were to shoot at a carrier, it would immediately open fire on you and kill you very quickly, just like a station does. All right.
Okay.
Now, you're thinking right, though, that torpedoes are mostly used against large class ships like corvettes and cutters and anacondas because they are slow moving. They are a big target. And if you are going to hit something like that, like a medium class ship, there's almost no chance you're going to land a torpedo on a medium class ship unless the other player is just clueless. Right. It's just not going to happen. And again, they are completely ineffective against NPCs. So it's unfortunate.
And why
that
is that?
Because
they can dodge 'em.
they dodge them. They NPCs know what they are, and usually you're only going to be successful against a human that doesn't really understand how deadly they can be because you never see them. So when you see one, you're like, oh, those are those stupid torpedo things. Like I'm not worried about those.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, when you
Okay.
do kill somebody with torpedoes, oh, it's glorious. You see a giant cutter with massive, like the ships we're in right now. Let me look. I have 137 megajoules of shields, or 137 shield points. You can get a
Okay.
cutter above 25,000.
That's quite a lot.
Right?
That's a tough boy.
It becomes
that's a tough nut to
almost
crack.
almost unkillable. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the kind of ship where if you don't want to die, you don't die. Like you have to stay in the fight because you can easily leave anytime you want. So like the Type 9 build I use has 1,000 megajoules of shields, and that's enough generally to keep me safe for about 30 seconds. So that if somebody attacks me, I can't escape.
I got you. God, the Viper feels so much faster again,
it's
doesn't it?
so
Like,
much faster. Handles so
Yeah.
great, right? And by the way, Cement, I see that you're in the FDL, and a couple of you guys were. It seems like everybody's being cool. If you guys want to jump in a Viper and join us, I think that'd be great. You know, if you guys feel like you want to stay on patrol, I really appreciate it. I got some really great guys in our Discord that help me whenever I stream. They help me moderate chat and all that kind of stuff. So as always, guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, I think sort of games with steeper learning curves tend to galvanize communities together very well, don't they? Like, as in, because you're all kind of helping each other, trying to get the most out of a game.
That's right.
And it
That's right.
kind of almost promotes working together because
Yeah,
of
you
the
know,
challenges, I suppose.
there is a very small, very small, can be vocal minority of rather toxic people, like you have in any community with player versus player type combat. And if, in fact, one of the guys here, Rui, he's helping us, said there was somebody here, making trouble. They made very quick service of him and took care of him. So I appreciate that, guys. I certainly haven't had any trouble so far. And for the most part, yeah, the community is wonderful. We all understand. I heard a little bit of the stream you had with Malik where everybody knows there's not a learning curve in this game. There's a learning cliff. It's just, I remember when I first started learning it that I was very lucky that a couple of guys took me under their wing, so to speak, and taught me the game. And I've always enjoyed being able to pay that back.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually kind of like that with a couple of different games I've played in the past and still do play. Like
Great.
the kind of games that are like, yeah, you could spend 6 hours on a wiki, or I
Right.
can just show you how to do it, and
That's
then you
right.
show the next person how to do it. Right? It's kind of like you passing on your wisdom of what you've been doing. But I mean, like I say, those videos sound good. If you guys are looking on in my chat, looking for lessons and things like that. Yeah, Exigeous' videos are great. Malik's stuff is really good as well. Like, just the amount of depth of everything. It's like just when Malik was telling me about all the Thargoid stuff last
Sure.
time, I was just like, this is crazy. Because like, I do something called LARPing, which is like live action role playing.
Oh, okay,
and,
okay.
And that's something that I always tell people about, like the depth of it, and like when you get into the story and all the background and stuff, it just blows
Sure.
your mind. And
Sure.
I kind of got a similar experience from finding out about all of the backstory of Elite and stuff. It's kind of like, okay, right, this is more complicated than flying our spaceship around in space.
Right.
Which is already pretty complicated.
Just quickly turn your beacon on for me. I don't think we might not be instanced together because you're not seeing really anybody outside the station right now, are you? Yeah, okay. We're not instanced, and let me show you how we can tell. So do you see me? You see the blue square on your HUD, right? That's me.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that it's a square means that we're not instanced together, because if we were, and if you target it, it's just going to say wing signal Exigeous. Okay.
Okay.
And that means we're not together. Here is for speed stake, the quickest way to do it is for you to respawn. The quickest way for you to respawn is just shoot the station. So right now, just shoot
Okay.
the station. That will almost certainly respawn you. And then guys, we'll probably start at like 1830, maybe 34. We'll see how quickly we can get Smithy out here. And get you going. And if I can, just quickly, the one thing I would plug, if I can, is my website. And it's actually not just mine. There's a number of different guys from our community that contribute to it. It's called ED as in Elite Dangerous, edtutorials.com. So all of my content is indexed there. And then there's about 10 or so other creators and groups that have also contributed content to it to make it a community effort. There's no ads on the site, nothing like that. And it indexes all of the content in a very easy to find way. So
Awesome. So that's ED Tutorials.
edtutorials.com. Yeah, pretty easy to remember.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
okay, it looks like, let's see when you spawn in. There we go. So now, wait. No shit, we're not. Okay, so now, unfortunately, the way to fix this is a little complex. And so, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start at 34. I'm going to ask if you guys don't mind, please don't shoot me for a second just so I can make instancing with him a little easier. I'm going to stow my hard points and just move right next to the station. What you're going to want to do is fly out to Super Cruise, and then you're going to drop on my beacon, and guys, go. You're going to drop on my beacon, and that should instance us together. So do you know how to do that?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, great. So you'll just jump out. As soon as you jump out, navlock to me, and that'll probably drop you right back in.
Okay.
I think that crash is what screwed us up, right?
Yeah.
And go. There we go. Now everybody's going. I think anyway. Yeah, open fire, everybody. There we go. Now everybody's engaged. Yeah, we got pretty. I was pretty surprised that we were as lucky as we were, as long as we were. And so I think
what's it going to come under? Is it under signal sources?
No, it's going to be in your contacts panel. So go to your chat panel. Yep, and then go to the third tab, the social tab. No. Sorry, your chat panel. You were there.
Yep.
And then the third tab, and then select me, and choose Engage Wingman Navlock. There you go. Exactly. And see, bam, you're going to drop right back in. And
as soon as the server works out what it's doing.
So, by the way, this is what we call a Braben tunnel. If you know David Braben, the CEO of Elite. So we jokingly call this a Braben tunnel.
Well, you're waiting in the Braben tunnel
to
connect to the instance, I'm guessing, right?
And damn, it didn't instance us again.
Okay.
Shoot. I tell you what.
Jump out again.
No, let me jump out this time. Tunnel of Death, Blue Tunnel of Death. We call it all these different names. Actually, you know what, Smitty? I hate to say it, but try that one more time because because I'm with everybody. So if I jump out and get with you, that's actually not going to be helpful because we want to get you with the rest of us. It's a bummer this is happening to you.
That's cool.
Yeah, Cement, I might try that next. Let's do one more standard drop. One of the guys' suggestion is to, instead of Wingman dropping on me, to manually drop at the station. That's just a little tough. It takes a little more time. So let's try this one more time. Usually this works. Yeah.
Oh, what's happened here? Why did I jump out?
That's exactly well, because you were navlocked to me. So as soon as you jump, you were close enough. It dropped you right back in. So that was actually good. And unfortunately, it didn't work. So do this: disengage navlock from me. Right. So a minute ago you navlocked. So turn that off. Great. And now jump out. And when you get out to Super Cruise, now you're going to target the station just like normal. And we'll try that. And then the last thing we'll try, if that doesn't work, is having you exit to main menu and coming back in and re-winging. And hopefully this will do it. And then what I'm thinking, Smithy, we'll wrap up. You guys, you do these for 2 hours. Is that right?
Yeah, we're finishing at 8.
Yeah, okay, perfect,
yeah,
perfect.
in 20 or so minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I figure, 5 minutes beforehand, we'll call an end to the round there. And, that way we have time to close up if we've got questions or anything else we're discussing.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just kind of watching to see. I'm watching your stream. There's obviously a little delay, but I'm watching you on Twitch right now. So.
Yeah, I'm just locking Watt port as my navigation target.
Yep. So just like you did. Yeah, you fly away just a little bit and then turn around and come back. Yep, you got it. This is not to act like you don't know, but do you know the 7-second 75% trick?
Yeah, I do.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Although honestly, I just use Super Cruise Assist these days.
Oh, that's fine, sure. But when you don't have
yeah.
it, it's important to know that 75% trick.
Yeah, so for people watching that don't know what that is, basically when you're approaching a target in Super Cruise, like a navigation target, you probably explain it more succinctly. Go.
No, you had it exactly. So when you're and you see on his stream right now, you're going to see the time at the bottom. So 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds. When you see 7 seconds, you want to set your throttle to 75%. Disengage. Did you fly past it? Oh, damn it.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm here.
And and shit, it still didn't instance.
Okay. Could be North America, Europe situation.
It could be absolutely. So this time, go ahead and try to exit the main menu and log back in that way. So anyway, so when you hit 75, when you're 7 seconds away, set your throttle to 75%, and then by doing that, your deceleration curve will be perfect, so that when it tells you to disengage, to drop out of Super Cruise, that whole thing will happen perfectly smoothly, and bam, you'll drop right in. You won't do the loop of shame and fly around, right?
So yeah, if you don't pull that off, you whip past the object and then have to turn back round and all this sort of stuff.
That's right.
Anyway, do you want to try inviting me to the wing this time?
Yes.
The one we just had was the one I invited. So.
I will. Okay, we're not in instance yet, but let's see if that did it. Okay, and now turn your beacon back on. Oops. Okay.
Oh wait, that wasn't. That's navlock.
Not navlock, but beacon is.
Beacon. Yeah, got it.
At the option. There you go. And damn, it still didn't do it. Okay, tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna jump out this time and see if I can at least get instanced with you. And then we're gonna see. We'll see if we can get then folks instanced in with me. This is unfortunately one of the bigger problems with trying to do this, and just kind of Elite in general, unfortunately. All right. So
yeah, I'm surprised that even in a wing we're not getting thrown into similar instances.
Yeah, and it's as you said, a big part of it is because of North America and the UK.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay, so now you and I are instanced. And there are some folks here for us to shoot at, which is all that really matters. So let's head back toward the station. Cement, if you are in a wing, actually, you're not fighting right now. I tell you what, Psychit, if Psychit is still here, let me see if she's still here. We've got some folks to shoot at least. Yeah, let's not worry about it. We've got some folks to shoot at, so we'll just shoot at these guys. Because that's really all that matters, right?
Hey,
got a first kill that quick, right? Okay, so Maniac, the guy I'm shooting at, he's our BGS. Have you heard that term before?
No. What's
BGS
that?
is the background simulation. So it's how, when you go to the mission board, you see a bunch of different mission givers. Well, each of those are what are called factions, and each faction is what controls a system and controls a station. And you can request from Frontier a PMF, or a player minor faction. So you can have your own faction, and then you can work to expand that faction's control throughout the galaxy.
Nice. So you basically make your guild an official sort of feature of the galaxy.
Great way to say it. I should have used guilds as a perfect way to describe it. And so our faction is called Squadron 11. Maniac is one of our leadership. And so he makes the decisions with a group of guys on where we're going to try to go next. Nice, Maniac. He rammed me. He died, though. Psychic, I just want to make sure we were in the same instance. That's all. So don't sweat it. And so if... we started one system, you get put in one station at the beginning, and now we are in 16 different systems.
Wow, so you've expanded out.
Yeah.
Did you have to take that control from the NPCs then?
And humans. And humans. Right?
And
Both.
humans.
Yep.
Nice.
So right now we're fighting a war in a system against another group of human players, and we're actively trying to take the system away from them.
So how's that decided? Like, surely you can't expect people to be logged on like all night,
That's right.
all day,
That's
guarding
right.
it.
It's the short version is it's very complex. Actually, the long version would be it's very complex. The short version is you do things like missions. You can fight in wars and conflict zones, and you're usually in that case fighting against NPC representatives of that other person's squadron. And by the way, everybody, we get 2 upgrades per death this time. So just remember, everybody, 2 upgrades per death. Let me put that in system chat.
So essentially, you sort of grind rep to gain control of the area.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah,
right?
that's a good way to say it. Yeah, you can do everything from missions, delivering cargo, turning in bounties. There's lots of different ways to do it. It does get it is by far the most complex part of the game, and is a ton of fun. Once you learn that.
And this is all part of the power play system.
No, power play is similar but different. So So with BGS, you can request your own faction, and have your own name and your own system and things like that. Power play is above that, where you pledge to them, and so you can kind of do both at the same time.
Okay.
Right? So like our player minor faction is in the power play Leon Ree space. Okay, did that get way complicated there, or did that make some sense?
It's getting there, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, I understand. You were in one of the larger NPC power play zones, but they don't mind you controlling that as long as you're sort of their vassals, are you?
Basically, yeah, and you can expand. So some guys get more into power play. It has its own complexities and things like that, where some guys get into BGS. Okay. And by the way, for your upgrades, I don't know if you've done any yet. I would maybe do a couple medium multi-cannons. You already did.
Yeah, I have. When you say you're medium, they're 1G. Is that medium or not?
No, that's small. So you want to change that. So jump back into outfitting, and what you probably did you move the pulse lasers to the small hard points?
Oh, those are small hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
so go to hard points. Yeah. And for right now, just sell. The quickest thing to do is just right there buy. Don't even worry about transfer. Just browse shop and buy.
Well,
that's fine too. And just buy 2 new medium multi-cannons and then buy 2 small pulse lasers, and then you're where you should be.
Okay.
And damn it, it looks like we maybe didn't get instas together again. We're not going to worry about it so long as you have targets to shoot at.
Yeah, exactly. Just show it.
Yeah, so we just don't have to waste we won't worry about kind of wasting the time. And so for me this time, I picked railguns.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and if you've used railguns before, they take a lot of energy. They generate a lot of heat, so you have to be a lot slower. Like I fired twice, and I overheated for a second, which is not something to really be that concerned about. You can take some heat damage and it not be a big deal. So modules don't malfunction until they drop below 80%. But probably 2 mediums was probably a little aggressive of me. I probably should have done 2 smalls.
Okay, to save time, I think I'm just going to deploy with these 1G multi-cannons on here. I'm sorry, everybody out there.
That's okay. You can change them next time. Yeah, it's no big deal.
I know that, I'm already showing some real talent in the PvP arena by taking on some of the finest PvP pilots in Elite Dangerous.
You've defeated one of the best pilots in the game at least twice. You killed Mango, right? And boy, Mango, we're definitely going to clip that. You know we're going to.
Let's gear up.
Perfect. And so, yeah, are there at least some humans out there for you to shoot at? So you're looking for hollow targets. And I don't know that I'm seeing any on your HUD.
When you say, yeah,
on your scanner.
Why,
on your scanner.
oh, because that's a player, is it?
Yeah, if it's a
target?
hollow one, it's a player. If it's a solid one, it's a computer. And I'm not seeing. Man, this sucks that you're the only one getting this. Do this real quick, Smithy. Do an exit to main menu real quick. Let's just try that one, and we won't necessarily worry about winging up. It's not that important for what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, exit main menu, come back in, and we'll hope that does it. The last thing we probably don't have enough time for that. We could do one match. We could switch to. Have you ever played CQC?
Not in a very, very long time.
Okay. I tell you what. If you didn't get introduced to anybody. Why don't we? Man, I'm thinking. We've got 10 minutes at least. Why don't we do that? What would you think? Because if we all switch to CQC real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Get one CQC match. Okay, everybody that's in Discord that can hear me, we're just going to exit out and go to CQC real quick. So go to exit. Yeah, Jzad, I just think that would take too long to try to friend up and stuff. So exit to main menu.
Yep.
Go over to arena. Go to continue. Go to arena. And don't click until I say. And so, guys, get there as quickly as you can, because obviously we don't want to wait too long here. I'm going to send you, actually, I'm going to have you do this. You're going to send me a squad invite. So once you're there, over on the right, you'll say invite to squad. Great. Find me. Perfect.
Oh, wait,
and
what was your kill? Oh, look at this.
There we
1,200 kills. Amazing.
Well, I mean, and see, I'm rank 48 and you're 1. If we didn't rank up, we almost certainly wouldn't get together. Okay, so now you can back out. And
okay. Oh, shit, I went too far.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Head back in. No big deal.
Right, okay, we're in.
Go to arena. Send me that squad again.
Sorry.
No, you're all good, man. No worries. I'd complain if I hadn't done the same thing multiple times. And then, yep, there's the invite. And so now we're going to do team deathmatch. And so, guys, I hope you're ready since I can't hear you guys. So I'm going to count it down. Well, actually, don't even worry about it. Go ahead, Smithy, and click on team deathmatch.
Okay, team deathmatch.
Right,
queuing now.
And now I'm queuing with you, and we'll see what we get. We need a minimum of 4, so we only really need 2 others to get something in here. You're starting with the Condor, so just to explain CQC for folks real quick, there are 4 ships. There's the Condor, which is the ship launch fighter, the Imperial fighter, which is another ship launch fighter, the Eagle, and the Sidewinder. They are special versions. They're very different than the versions in game. They have different outfitting, slightly different modules. They fly slightly differently. So and everything that happens in CQC stays in CQC. So it doesn't affect your in-game anything. There's no rebuy. There's nothing like that. It's a very fast-paced and great. I'm recognizing some of these guys. It's very fast-paced. It's like it's almost like a first-person shooter respawn type mechanic. You do earn some credits, but not much. It's really just for fun.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a quick way to get into that dogfighting combat, I'm guessing.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And right now, you can earn elite rank in it. So there are probably in the maybe 6 digits triple elite, certainly 5 digits, like in the multiple tens of thousands have triple elite. There are 26 known that are elite in CQC. It takes
That's not very many.
long. It takes something like 26,000 kills to reach elite in CQC.
That's a lot, isn't it?
It's absurd. I think I looked the other day.
What's your play time on this game now, do you reckon?
So across all of my accounts, I don't think I've crossed it yet, but I'm right about, embarrassingly, about 7,000 hours.
7,000 hours.
Yeah, so just a little bit.
Shit.
I started playing in April of 2016, so I've been playing about 4.5 years. In CQC,
solidly since then.
Pretty much,
7,000 hours.
In CQC, I've probably got about maybe 100, 80, somewhere in that range.
100 hours.
100 hours, yeah.
Okay,
Something
right.
like
Yeah.
that.
So it really is something you dip into now and then, but you're
Yes.
primarily playing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
This is very tradition. Every one of my live streams since I started 2.5 years ago, I've always ended with a match of CQC. Because usually I'm doing something in game. I try to make my, either on Tuesdays I stream a thing called Tutorial Tuesday. On Fridays at this exact time, I host, generally I'm the host. I do Friends on Friday. And so then at the end of the stream, it's a way for everybody to join in and, and get to fly with the viewers and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't know
Oh,
why
that's
we're
really cool.
sitting here for so long. Because we should have started by now.
There's nothing I need to press.
No.
over here or something.
I actually, in
Our
fact,
game starts. There we go.
there it goes.
28
There it goes.
seconds.
There it goes. There it goes. Of course, just because I was saying something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so this is a good way to kind of end the night. Usually, I'll do the first round with everybody on stream, and then after this, I end the stream so I can jump in VR because I enjoy combat in VR much more than without.
Well, you can whip your head around and
That's
see
right.
things fly over the top of you and all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Last thing I'd point out about
Proper
CQC is
cockpit.
there's little power-ups around the map. So there's double damage, which is exactly what it sounds like. There's speed surge, which only lasts for like 3 seconds. It's kind of worthless. There's stealth, which is like silent running. And there's shield boost. This map only has one, and it's double damage.
Okay.
And it's down at the bottom. And so now we're just shooting the other targets. By the way, you have to target visually. You cannot say next and previous. You have to be able to see the target and pick them manually. So for example, I just got the double damage, or as we like to call it, the cheese. So there's a guy in a Sidewinder. The Sidewinder is very tanky, but very slow. I really don't like the Sidewinder. Going through the tunnel. Just a tip, if you don't know, you can un-target gimbaled weapons and then fire them as if they were fixed. Just as a tip.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Yeah. Little advanced technique, a little hard, but you should have chaff, by the way, in your stock, in that stock outfit.
Okay. Have I set my fire groups is the question.
They should be default, I think. I think they should have been defaulted. Maybe not.
Utility mount. It was. Yeah, you're right.
And this is to 25, so we should have time to finish one match, and then I'm guessing with the time, then we'll call it a day.
Yeah. Oh, it's been really good. Thanks, man. Thank you so
this
much
has been
for
a blast.
your help and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. So glad. I hope I didn't dominate the conversation too much. I tend to get into helpful mode.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Like whenever talking about something that I really enjoy, and I'm trying to like unpack all that information as quickly as possible for the person listening, sort of thing. No, for sure. It's great. It's good because like I'm kind of part of the audience in this scenario, I think, because I'm sort of still learning a lot as well.
Yeah.
So to sort of sit there and have you sort of guide me through stuff I think it's really good.
It's just, it's
so
one, you said earlier, it's one of those games where, I like to use the phrase, you have got to stand on the shoulders of giants for a game like this. You're just, you're not going to learn this by yourself. For me, I got my first VR headset. I got the first Oculus Rift, and I got in the game and thought, oh my God, this is amazing. I have got to learn how to play this. And so I jumped into a Discord and started asking questions. And, here we are 7,000 hours later, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And-
no, I had the same experience with a game called Escape from Tarkov.
Oh, yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
again
I heard
has
you
like
talking to Malik about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely steep learning cliff, and it's very much the same where you're just like, it's so much better and more efficient to just ask the people you're playing with who've gone
right.
through it all before, like,
That's right.
what do
That's
I do
right.
here? What do I do here?
That's
Than
right.
like knee deep in Russian wikis.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's great. But yeah, so like the ED tutorials is probably something I'll actually have a look at as well.
Yeah, I would say it's...
I used to use Road to Riches for like exploration. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Absolutely. I have a tutorial video
Yeah.
that explains all the methods to using it. So yes, absolutely. Very familiar with it. And it's a great way. For new commanders, early game, to earn credits. Great way to earn credits.
Yeah, I love making money in games, so that was the first thing I was interested in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and Elite's in such a like it's in the best state it's ever been in terms of you can earn credits so quickly. You know, we didn't really talk about engineering much, but the hard thing about engineering is gathering materials for it, and you've never been able to gather materials as quickly as you can now. So you know, it's you know. Things have gotten a lot better over the years. There's still a lot of big flaws in Elite, but overall, I mean, obviously with the amount of hours I have in it, I do truly still love the game. I can be very critical of it, but I'm critical of it because I love it so much.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, nobody hates Star Wars like Star Wars fans.
That's absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, that happens, doesn't it? Like, I'm the same. It's like, again, with Tarkov, I was like, my God, why is this game so impenetrable? Once you get into it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish more people could experience this. But like, goddamn,
I guess I
sometimes.
didn't realize, because I only know just on the surface that Tarkov is a shooter, right? And I guess I just figured, you know, shooter, generally pretty straightforward, right? Speaking of Star Wars.
But they are, like, all these games, like, again, like Elite, and like, I almost feel like I like the idea that there's so much I don't understand about something, and that kind of excites me, I suppose. But like, there's a lot more to learn here, rather than like, right, you basically know what the game is from day one.
I literally learn something new about the game every day. I mean, truly, there's something new, some little tidbit, some little fact, some little thing that I didn't know, virtually every single day.
It's very impressive.
And by the way,
so when do I get to change these loadouts? How come I can't choose other loadouts? Oh,
because you haven't unlocked them. Yes, exactly, right. So this is a little more simple in that sense. The good news is the stock loadout that you're using is one that the veterans use and are super successful with it. So you're not at a significant disadvantage by using the stock loadout. I mean, I do have mine changed a little bit. There are things that are a little better, but it's not, you know, it's not like in game where you have an engineered ship versus an unengineered ship where, you know, the difference in that is just massive.
Yeah.
And
these little fighters are fun as well.
Oh, they're a blast.
Super nimble.
Oh, they're a blast. I love them.
I feel like I'm flying an A-wing or something.
Yeah. Speaking of, have you played Star Wars Squadrons yet?
I have, yeah. This is actually reminding me a little bit of it.
It really does, doesn't it? Are you enjoying Squadrons?
Yeah. So you know what I was just saying about I like games where I feel like there's so much more to learn. I think that in part I was really excited for that game. I love classic cockpit flight sim shooters.
Sure.
But the idea that they're not really developing it anymore makes me a bit like sad, I guess.
Have they officially said something like that, or are people just kind of worried about it?
Apparently there's no plans to further develop it. Like, it is what it is now, essentially, and that is what it's going to be.
Okay, that's disappointing, because I'm really enjoying it, but yeah, it's not nearly deep enough.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm getting picked
so we'll
on
see. We'll see. I hope so. I hope so, because I do love this kind of shooter. Sorry, this kind. It is a shooter. It's like a flight sim shooter, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, it is.
In combat, anyway.
I think if you just want the experience of being in Star Wars, it's phenomenal. Like in VR, I find it incredible.
That's why I can't, like, I'm really looking forward to Odyssey, because another part of like why I played Elite and what I love about space sims in general is like, I'm looking forward to the idea of getting out of the chair, walking down to a planet or onto a station, and then getting back in the chair, if you know what I mean. I think it's going to give it that gravitas of like, this is my ship. I go around this giant universe in this ship, you know? And I just love that. Like, you know, it's the same deal with a lot of the older like X series of games. Did you ever play those?
Absolutely.
Like X3 and things
Absolutely.
like that? Yeah. I just love that. And so I'm looking forward to sort of giving it a bit more gravitas, and then probably going and ferrying some more passengers around or something like that.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be if you've been following it, the thing they call Apex Interstellar, where we can like be on foot, and then, you know, we can get on a passenger ship to take ourselves somewhere, things like that. Yeah. One of the things I think
I'll be
they
interested
said
to see like how like real it is, if you know what I mean. Like,
I know exactly
rather than like instancing and having clever loading screens and things like that, I'm interested to see how interactable and how customizable it'll be.
We've still obviously got tons of questions about it. For those that might not know, I'm guessing all the viewers do. Odyssey is the upcoming expansion. We call it Space Legs because, as we were talking before, you will be able to get out of your ship. Very similar to, say, Star Citizen. You know, the joke is that Elite's going to do Star Citizen before Star Citizen does
Before
Star Citizen.
Does Star Citizen. It really is. Honestly, it's getting that way. Let's be honest.
Oh, we lost. I was half paying attention.
It's good though. I got 2 assists. I'll take it.
Hey, sweet, sweet. You didn't actually have that many deaths either. That's not bad at all.
Not too many.
For your
not
first
too many.
one, right?
I wasn't being farmed.
And then here
yeah,
you can
man.
just, when you get on the next screen, I'm just going to back out now so we don't load into the next one. So,
But yeah, that's great. Well,
Yeah.
I'll probably wrap up the stream
That's
separately
perfect.
and stuff. But
That's
have
perfect.
Sam, are you here? Are you all good?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So yeah, but anyway, Exigeous, thank you so much for joining us and being
Same to
so
you.
informative.
Thank you
and
so much for
helpful.
having me. This was an absolute blast. I definitely, if you're up for it, I'll ping you offline when we're done here. You know, if you have any questions, any point on your journey, more than happy to help you. I mean, I not only do I have a ton of content that I can steer you to, but if you've got any little questions for advice, stuff like that, I would love to give you tips and stuff. So again,
Thank you
thanks
very
much for having me.
Along with the stuff we've spoken about, where's the best place for people to find you most days?
Yeah, I
Like,
would
your
say
content?
the two biggest places are going to be the site we talked about already, ED Tutorials. The second would be my YouTube channel. It's YouTube/Commander CMDR Exigeous. Pretty easy to search if you just Google. I mean, I'm the only Exigeous on the internet, but ED Tutorials is probably the easiest one to remember because all of my content is indexed there, and so all the videos will take you to the YouTube channel from that.
Awesome. Well,
So,
thank
yeah.
you very much. I will love you and leave you. Have a great evening.
You too,
Good luck
my
with the rest of
friend.
your stream.
You too.
And yeah, I'll catch up with you on Discord.
Thanks very much, buddy. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye. And then my audience that's staying here, let me take that off. Why don't we jump up to the Sidewinder Slaughter channel? We'll just move down there because that'll unmute everybody's mic. So head down there with me, guys.
Hey, what's up?
I think that's going to unmute mics. We might be set for push to talk.
It's funny that actually, because when you said that, that's what I've been joking about with the lads in the godforsaken hours of the morning. You know, this is going to be Star Citizen before Star Citizen.
Yeah,
right?
it very well could be Star Citizen before Star Citizen is Star Citizen, right? Actually, hold on. I wanted to comment on his channel and just say thanks to everybody. Thanks again so much for having me. That was what a great guy, right? I thought that was a great.
Yeah,
he's
mega
cool.
cool.
To the guys, Rui and Cement and Jay's Odd, thank you so much. Did we have some issues?
So I was flying the Sidewinder around, and I noticed there's one of those Duke on steroids, one of those DPSs. It wasn't Duke, but it was a premium ammo 4-shell DPS, just plinking Sidewinders in one shot.
Oh my
I was
goodness!
Like,
Okay.
Oh god!
That actually would have been
So I
kind of
rushed back to
funny. Yeah, that would have been funny if
It-
one of us had gotten tagged with a 4-shell like that.
I mean, it was just instant death, is what it was.
Sure. But just to see, I'm assuming the 4-shell was just splattering you across.
Oh yeah. You just
way
spin
across
the
the
fuck
screen.
out of
Yeah.
control.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So okay, and it was literally just the one guy.
Yeah, it was just the one guy. So I thought it was going to be a couple because I saw some guys hovering in Super Cruise too, but no, that ended up just being him, and he was pretty chill about it. I just let him know, like, hey, if you want to participate, play by the rules, or you're going to get vaporized.
Right. Okay, I did just. I'm just going to tell the live streaming guys. I'm going to jump up there real quick and let them know. Hold on. Hey guys, just a heads up, if you're staying here, if you guys are still playing, I did just fix the voice permissions. If you leave the channel and come right back, it'll unlock your voice and you'll be able to speak, just as a heads up. Okay, so I just unlocked the live streaming channel for voice just in case folks were staying in there. I'm going to wrap up the stream here in just a second, guys. But I just wanted to take a quick break to thank you guys. We had a great turnout. I was really pleased with how many folks showed up. I certainly had a good time. I hope everybody else did. And other than it really sucked that there at the end, we got hit with instancing, and literally he was the only one not instancing with us.
I mean, we saw it coming. It had to happen. It's Elite Danger.
Yeah, it just would have, it would have been better, obviously, if it had happened to me. And Jzod was totally right. We probably should have had him friend up with a lot of people before we got started, just to try to help that. Or I probably should have thought and punted to CQC quicker, because that actually turned out to work pretty great. I was even worried that, there's no way we're going to instance together in that. And hey, sure enough, we actually did. So stream, thanks everybody for stopping by. I really appreciate it. That was a ton of fun getting to be on a channel that big and getting to help somebody. It's been a while since I've kind of flown with somebody that was that beginner. And I think he afforded himself rather well. Is Mango still around? No, Mango left.
Nah, he had to sleep.
Went to bed.
Oh, we got to get Mango. I got to clip the couple kills, because I think he killed Mango 2 or 3 times. Now, obviously, Mango had taken other damage. Clearly in a 1v1, the tide would have been very different in that fight. But at the end of the day, I think it is pretty funny that he killed Mango a couple times, right?
That's every ship I flew. The first thing I was like, okay, power plant upgraded, and then just all rail guns.
Okay. Did you go for the power plant? Because I almost never go for power plant until it's pretty late in the match, and I must do it. Were you going for it for the integrity, or just because you wanted to be able to run, strong weapons at first?
Yeah. As many rail guns as I could fit is what I.
Yeah, gotcha. I find that my favorite, I didn't do it tonight, mainly because I was trying to watch his chat and pay attention to his stream, to give him a hand. But usually I go for the Sidewinder, I go with 1 rail and a dumbfire. On the Eagle, I usually go 2 rails and a dumbfire. And then on the Viper, it depends. Sometimes I'll do, like 2 rails and then maybe even 2 gimbaled multis or PAs or something like that. But I really like the rail dumbfire quite a lot. So, so just
4 rail guns.
Yeah. It's just so hot, man. That's, if you don't, to a degree, you can just let yourself burn, right? So chat, I'm going to go ahead and in stream, guys, in Discord. I'm going to hang around for a second, so don't head out. But again, chat, everybody, thanks for joining in. That was a ton of fun. I am sorry that I wasn't able to interact with chat. I did see there were a couple super chats and donations that came through. I know Cement pooped on me at one point, so thank you very much for that, guys. I am sorry that I wasn't able to engage. You guys know I generally, really like to chat with everybody. So we'll be back to that normal next week. I am going to spin this back up officially next week. So look for an announcement video coming. I'll probably put it out tomorrow or maybe Sunday. That will go back to the normal schedule of Monday, Wednesday. We'll do Monday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern, and we'll do Wednesdays at 4 o'clock Eastern. I think that's what we used to do. So that's 8 o'clock UTC. So we get Europe on Wednesdays and North America on Mondays. And then on Tuesday, we're doing Tutorial Tuesday with one of the senior PvP pilots that we're friends with, Link 1. We're going to take Link and whoever would like to join and go do some Thargoid combat, because Link has never done Thargoids. And so for those that maybe have not done that yet and would like to give it a try, it really is a ton of fun. Like tonight or today, everybody's welcome to join. And then next Friday, last plug I'll give is next Friday, I'll have Psychit. She is a somewhat new, I think, streamer on Twitch. So she's going to join me for, my normal slot on Fridays, Friends on Friday. That'll be a little more interview style. We'll just talk about her channel and what she's doing. So I'll probably shut up a little more. Not that I ever shut up, but I'll probably shut up a little more on that one. So again, thanks for joining, everybody, and I will catch you guys soon. And one last time, thanks so much to the guys that helped run defense for us. Really, really appreciate it, guys. So, all right, everybody, take care.
See ya.